in this three segmentation, verses part 1 and 2, we have already discussed in Revelation part 1. Correct? And now we are concentrating on part 3, the third part. Alright. So, this message was sent to the 7 churches which are existing during the time of John. Okay? Now, but the main point of the book of Revelation, if you're going to study it, ano yun? It talks about the second coming. The main event is about the second coming of Jesus Christ. Okay? So, if to summarize, chapter 1 talks about the things which you have seen, which John saw. And what is it? What did John see in chapter 1? The glorious vision of who Jesus Christ is. Okay? And we will be discussing chapter 19, 20, 21. And you will see the description of Jesus Christ. Let's compare. Yung nakita ba sa chapter Revelation 1, is it the same with the last revelation of Jesus Christ? Okay? We will do that later. And now, in the things which are, they are in chapters 2 and 3. Okay? The situation of the churches and Jesus Christ's message to the different situation of the churches. The things which are existing in the time of John. And then, the things which will take place after this thing starts from chapter 4 and until the end. Alright? So the things which will take place after these things are the ones that about the Lord before His coming, second coming, what happens during His second coming, and what happens after His second coming. Okay? So this is the introduction to the book of Revelation. Now let's go to the goal of our studying. Not just a quick review. Why are we studying the book of Revelation? The main point is for us to know God. Ano ba yung desire ni God sa buhay natin? And you know what? If you look at the end of Revelation, one of the things that God really wants is for Him to dwell among us. Right? Bakit ba niya tayo sinig? Why did He go through all the pain of sending His Son to die for us? Because He wants you to be with Him and us to be with Him, to dwell among us. Alright? So that we will become His people and He will be our God. Alright? So we want to know Him more. And then, that we want to face the future, not with fear, alright, but with confidence. Alright? And then we also want to, because we know what's going to happen. We know that God is going to judge according to what? Alright? To our faith and in Christ, and also we do our deeds. That the way we live, that we need to be in white garments. We will be studying that. So it would encourage us to continue to walk righteously. Alright? And then, we also want to, of course, to understand the details of the book. Ano ba yung mga detalye? What are the things? Sino ba yung woman? Sino ba yung dragon? Sino ba yung, diba? The two witnesses. We also want to know and understand the book and also live accordingly. Whatever the warnings are, whatever the things that it asks us to do. Alright? So that we can be overcomers and face God. So this is the objective why we're studying the book. Alright? So let's go to reviewing chapter's third segment. Okay? Kanina, first and two segments we covered. Let's review the third segment, which starts with chapter 1. 4. Okay? Chapter 4 and 5, if you want to concentrate, ano yung focus of chapters 4 and 5? The worship of God. Alright? The worship of God. Very good. Chapter 4. Okay. 4 and 5 is worship. Very good. Chapter 4 and 5. 4 will be the worship of the one who is seated before the throne. And chapter 5 will be the worship of the Lamb that was slain, correct? Because He is the one who is worthy to break the seals. Okay, very good. Okay, so we start with worship. giving us the correct perspective on the coming judgment. That God is seated on the throne, He is holy God, and He is worthy and righteous in judging the world. Correct? Alright, so that we start with the correct perspective. That's chapters 4 and 5. Next will be chapter 6. No looking, try to remember. Okay, chapter 6, what is the chapter T? The breaking of the sixth seal. Okay, very good. Chapter 5, Jesus is authorized or has the authority to break the seal. So naturally, chapter 6 starts with the breaking of the sixth seal. Alright? Okay. Now, chapter 7. Pansin nyo, wala siyang topics kasi kayo dapat ang mag-supply. Alright? Okay, try not to look at your notes. Look at the pictures. Alright, very good. Correct. Remember, chapter 7 is about the 144,000 that God sealed with His seal. Correct? And we know that these are all Jews, because they are from the tribe of Israel. Okay? And then, we saw that this one group, the 144,000 on earth, was sealed, but there is also another group. Alright? The fifth seal. What is that?
The great multitude.
The great multitude. Alright? The great multitude, they have a question. What is the question of the great multitude? How long? How long will you avenge our blood, O God? Isn't it? Alright, so remember that question because that will be answered by God. But in this time, what was the answer by God? Wait ka lang. Alright? Well, God, this is your white garment, wait ka lang, because there will be some other people who will still be killed and will be martyred just like you. Okay? So, chapter 8. Chapter 8, ano na yun? Alright, the seventh seal was opened. Alright? The seventh seal, when it opens, anong lumabas?
The seventh angel.
Okay. The opening of the seventh seal brings forth the trumpets. Alright? And in chapter 8, the four trumpets muna, the sounding of the first 4 trumpets. Amen? Alright, so let me see if you can remember when the sounding of the trumpets, what is the first trumpet? Alright. Alright. I think I skipped. There, okay. I don't know. No, sorry. The first 4 trumpets. Sige nga, what are the first 4 trumpets? I think the hail. Very good. Hail came to hail with blood and fire came to earth. And what happened? A third of the trees were burned, but all the grass were gone. Correct? How about the second trumpet? Okay. A mountain burning. A rock as big as a mountain, correct? Burning, it fell where? In the sea, alright? What happened to the sea? One third became a blood, alright? Remember, if it's trumpets, a third, alright? And then the third trumpet is what? A star, correct? Burning star fell where? In the river, in the spring, correct. And what happened? Yes, this star is called wormwood and it caused the water to become what? Bitter, so that many people died, correct? Then, a third of the waters turned into blood and become bitter, alright? And then, many people died. And then the 4th trumpet, a third of the sun, a third of the moon, a third of the stars fell, and everything darkened. Alright? Very good. And then the 5th, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 pa lang, di ba? And then with the sounding of the 5th trumpet, before the sounding, there is this what? Eagle. Alright? The eagle flying in heaven and say,